Feels great, ready to roll. I've been working out for about 2 months now, so I'm glad everybody's back. The building gets kind of empty during the off season, so it's good to have everybody back.
Since last year's over now, like, was it affecting you? Like, were you having any repercussions on the field because of the injury?
I think with my position, with just like the repetition and stuff that we do, just like a pitcher, every few years I got to kind of get stuff kind of just cleaned up and stuff like that. It's more of a cleanup thing, and I'm feeling great. I'm kicking a little bit, running, doing stuff that I'm ready to roll. Glad we're working out again, that's for sure. So I feel great.
Dustin, this is probably different for you as a punter than maybe for some other guys to think about, but I'm curious if you've had a couple guys on the team retire young now, and it's going around the NFL a little bit. I'm just curious if you see that as a trend yourself and what you think's going on there.
I don't know if it's a trend as much as it's just they have other opportunities out there, and they it's their decision. We're here. I love to punt. I'm focused on me and our special teams and trying to finish one overall. And that's obviously their decision and something that they made collectively with their family. I don't think it has anything to do with just like a family decision, really.
Do you see that though as a semi-natural outgrowth of state of the game or things people are thinking about with the game?
I don't think it's a trend. I think there's so many guys. You have your Peyton Mannings that have issues. I think it's just an individual basis on what that player's feeling, and it's just I don't think it's a trend. I think it's just something that he decided, and that you got to say I could look at an injury. I've had 4 or 5 over the course of 11 years, and I've just said I feel like it's just like a maintenance thing. I'm gonna keep going. I think it's just one of those things that you say I'm sticking through and trying to go as long as I can.
Does the money that you guys get paid now make that decision a little bit easier if you're looking to the future and worried about it? That most of you guys are fairly well financially set, so do you think it makes it easier to walk away in that situation if it's something you are worried about?
I think it, with the opportunities that I've been given and the money that I've been able to make is great, but it's still something that I love to do, and so the love over the money anytime. I love punting. I love the daily grind of challenging myself mentally, and then the physical aspects of it, and what I can provide to the team. And I think that the money's great, but really everybody's here because they love it. Our coaches are here because they wish they could be back on that football field, and so they put time in watching that film because that's the only thing they can do to get back on that field. And so I think it's just like the genuine love of the game, really.
Andy's message to the team today any different than it's been since he's been here?
No, because he's Mr. Consistent. You know how he is. It's everything is, he expects us to come in and work. And his message was, it's time. We got the same guys in here. We got core guys that have been here. It's the 4th year of kind of his time here, and we're excited to all be back. We got to retain a lot of veteran guys here. You guys saw this past off season. We're excited about the draft coming up. And just ready to work, ready to get back in these doors. I know the coaches kind of get antsy. It's a long off season. I know they start becoming scouts instead of coaches, and so they're excited about having everybody back and getting back to the game we love.
How's your off-season work changed and evolved over the course of your career?
Just knowing when to lay off, and when you have quality reps and a really good session, just kind of backing off and saying that's good. Let's watch the film on that and try to repeat that tomorrow. I've tried to step back, and I've actually started to kick a little bit more the older I get because I know kind of how to go about that and kind of ease into it during the course of a session, which is fun watching Cairo. I got Cairo and James back, which is the biggest thing for us is consistently the same guys being here. That's enables you to just focus on you, knowing that you trust them, you have that factor. So I think that with all of our routines together, we're starting to, me and Kyra are starting to really work well together, and now James has a full year under his belt, 2 big playoff games, and so really our routines are the same, and you just got to figure it out how your body's feeling and know when to push it and when to kind of put on the brakes a little.
Not just those guys, but the team in general and the coaches, having everybody back for a 4th year, how valuable is that?
Oh, it's huge. We have Dave Tobe in the room, and any team in the National Football League would love to have him as a special teams coordinator. You got Andy Reid, John Dorsey. You have so many defense and offensive coaches that all share one thing. They love football. They'd love to be out there on the field. And so that's fun to come every day. And, that they don't just hold a job here in a position, and they come to work and drive here and pull and sit in the parking lot. You see them, they have some giddy up in their step getting into these doors and ready to work. So that's awesome to see that. And that's been fun to watch the last, now 4 years of, people genuinely wanting to come in, good to see you, handshakes, high fives, like, what'd you do for your off season? Let's get to work.
What's the family dynamic with you and your brother and your dad, and how does that manifest itself over the off season, and does it play a role in your success, you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anytime I have any kind of questions, I obviously go to my dad. He's kind of experienced a little bit of everything in his life. And so it's nice to have that kind of a resource and somebody I can just, call, have on speed dial and call. And then with Britton now, he has, an experience that I hope to experience this year and going to a Super Bowl and, winning. And he planted really good in that game. I think obviously, Von Miller hadn't won the MVP, could have been the MVP. If that ever happens. No, but it's cool. It's cool that he got to experience that and watch that game. I mean, because he really did. He kept that return game at bay and hit some balls out of bounds that were pretty, great punts. And so, now I have somebody I can call. I hate calling little brother and asking advice, but I'm gonna have to in this situation.
I know you're very happy for him. Does it stick in your craw a little bit that he's gonna walk around and show that ring? Your dad's gonna have his ring, and you're gonna.
I'm the only male in my family that doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, so yeah, definitely. But yeah, but it's awesome. I'm happy for him. But it's something too that I'm going to use during the course of this season, this off season, for motivation, because you have to. All these experiences that I experience in life, I try to use. Every person I come in contact, you have to take something from them that works for you. And so with him, that's one of the stressful games of the year. I'm thinking about what I have to do on that Sunday, and then for 2 Sundays, I'm looking over like hoping he's doing well as well. So that's one of the most stressful games of the year for me. But I'll take those things, those little tidbits from my father and from Britton that he's been able to accomplish.
A couple more guys. Did you go to the game?
I did not. No, I actually went to the first one, and I was like, man, I don't know if I was unlucky or what, but I decided to stay back with family and kind of take care of some business that I needed to take care of, and kind of watch from the 50-yard line on the TV.
Could have been Eli. They could have been getting shots of you.
No idea what that was about. And that was a special moment for the family, and it's funny to see that and everybody comment on it. But really, I mean, he's a quarterback, so he's on to the next play. What happened. Now what is where he was. But yeah.
Last 2 guys. We'll go to Razzie. Okay, got it.
Because I was at the Super Bowl, so I talked to Britton. Is he above twisting that knife a little? You think has he already done it?
No, you know what? We just spent the last 10 days together in Florida, and he flew into like a foot or 2 of snow in Denver, which is crazy weather right now for this time of year for them. But he hasn't really. Actually, he didn't talk much about it. I mean, he talked about about how it was just one of those things where they got on a roll late. They had home field playoff, which. If you look at our schedule, I love our schedule towards the end. Obviously we got 3 games in a row, and then who doesn't like to go to San Diego in January, really? So, I like our schedule there, and, I don't think he's twisted the knife. I think he realizes what we have, in our locker room and the potential that we have, and so he's probably not going to say very much this year.
BJ, and then we'll finish here.
Just last week when the schedule came out, have you had a chance to look at it, and just what are your thoughts on how things kind of lay out for you guys this year?
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, anytime the schedule comes out, I'm always looking at the December games. Where do we have to go? And, you play Arrowhead late. It looks like we're getting ready for, playoff weather, playoff, mentality. Anytime you can have a playoff game or a game in Arrowhead, you have advantages. And so the way our schedule looks, where we kind of go back and forth early, and then you have Atlanta Falcons, Oakland, Atlanta Falcon kind of thing there towards the end, and then 3 straight home games. That's going to go to our favor. We play really well at home, and we owe that to the crowd and our fans and just the Chiefs Kingdom.
Last one.
Dustin, what is it about Kansas City's special teams that makes you confident that you'll meet the expectations Coach Reid has for you and that you have for yourself, and that maybe you'll get to add to your jewelry collection?
Yeah, right. Just the next man up. Dave Tobe and Brock have been really good, about coaching everybody up. I think it starts there, the accountability that those 2 guys bring to the room. They don't really leave any stone unturned as far as what they expect from a given player, not only on Sunday but through the week, getting ready for a game in the classroom, just their prep. And we played with a lot of young guys and still managed to play in the top 10 in standings. And so I think we played really well last year. And that's all about scheme. In the NFL, you have a lot of great players, and it's the coaching staffs that really kind of make the difference and makes that push. And that's something that we're very prideful here the last 4 years is accountability in our coaches, and then it trickles down to the players because they know what they're expected to do and when.